there lovelies, my name is Angela, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be baking what I like to call chocolate dreams. Now this is pretty much just a chocolate slice with lots of chocolate bits in top, kind of like a brownie but not, and it is delicious. I'm really excited to show you guys this recipe. I've been making it for a long time, so bake along at home, watch for the fun of it, it's up to you. Either way, let's get into it. So the ingredients we're going to need to make this recipe include 1 cup of self-raising flour, half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of desiccated coconut, which I used to think was called designated coconut, 2 tablespoons of cocoa, 125 grams of butter, which will melt, 1 tin of condensed milk, and 200 grams of chocolate bits to decorate. So I guess I better go get my ingredients. Cool, now that we've got all that, I guess we should start baking. So normally you should start with preheating an oven, which I pretty much never do, but because I'm videoing it, I think I will. This recipe uses a moderate oven, so that's like 180 degrees, but because mine's fan forced, I'm going to be doing 160 degrees. And then next we need to melt the butter. I've already got a block which has kind of been hacked in two, so I'm just going to cut off that, 125 grams. Also, just for any Star Wars fans out there, just a little moment of appreciation. Okay, so I'm just going to cut 125 grams of butter there. Funny thing is, I don't even have like any kind of scales to check whether or not I'm actually accurate, so it really is just a guesstimate. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to measuring things. Usually for 125 grams of butter, I'll microwave it for 1 minute. Okay, so in the meantime, we gotta put our dry ingredients together. So 1 cup, don't know if you can hear the butter, but it's spluttering away, so my microwave is probably gonna need a clean after this. You can sieve it, probably be better if you did, but I'm not gonna. Then I need 2 tablespoons of cocoa. And I also just realised I forgot to grab the coconut. Give me a minute to go find the coconut. Ladada. Coconut. As I said before, half a cup. Kind of dark. Cute. Half a cup. Man, I'm on a roll. I forgot the brown sugar as well. Okay. Slight problem. I didn't realise that I don't have any brown sugar in my pantry at the moment, because I normally keep my baking stuff pretty stocked, but I've never done this before. I've made this recipe probably, like, I'm not even kidding, like 50 times. And never in my life have I used any kind of other sugar to do it. So this should be fun. It'll be an adventure, okay? So let's just use some caster sugar. I'm sure it'll be peachy. It's weird doing it without brown sugar because it's kind of like, it looks different, so I'm not used to it. But now the cocoa, which is like the spawn of Satan, especially in this packaging because it just goes everywhere. Half the time I probably just sprinkle it in without measuring, but today we're gonna measure out the cocoa powder. I remember one time I had this and I was like, I think I was making icing and the PowerPoint's over there, and I was opening, I'm pretty sure, this exact cocoa powder, and it just spurted everywhere. I had cocoa powder all through the toaster, on the kettle, all on the bench, and it was hell to clean. I'm like not even kidding you. Okay, I'm gonna grab a wooden spoon. I do like to mix the dry ingredients before putting any of the wet ones in. Just kind of makes sense to me, at least. So the next step is just to put the butter in, and then we'll mix that all in. And then that's followed by the condensed milk. So I couldn't actually reference this recipe for you guys if I wanted to, because it came from one of my classmates' mum in a joint community charity cookbook. So like Thanks, James's mum. There was no James in my class. But yeah, I've been making it for a long time. I probably started really getting into baking when I was like maybe 11 or 12. And I used to love baking lots of cupcakes and like cookies with icing. Yeah, I used to like making things that you could decorate because let's be honest, those are the fun ones. This recipe I came across and it was definitely a favourite for everyone. Pretty much everyone that I've ever made it for has always asked for the recipe because it's just so, like, what's the word? Like, really mouth-watering. I used to also not put all of the condensed milk in because then I could have a sneaky bit out of the tin after. Because honestly, like, who doesn't love a cheeky bit of condensed milk? Did like any of you guys ever buy a tube back in the day and just like when like your parents would let you go buy a lolly at the shops, instead of getting a lolly you'd get a tube of condensed milk? Yeah, that was something I used to do. My sister used to do it as well, so at least I'm not entirely alone, but yeah. Okay, now I'll mix it again. My mum actually owns that cookbook, so I don't have the copy of that. My mum does, it's with her. But I still have a copy of the recipe written down because my sister got me a cookbook. Well, not actually a cookbook, just a notebook when I was 17. And I was 17 because there's an inscription in it because it was for my birthday. For me to write down recipes in that I liked cooking. So pretty much a collection from any cookbooks or the internet or anything like that I had / have in this one book. Honestly, when it comes to the baking stuff, I've just gotten a bit lazy and stopped writing it in because I'm a bit obsessed with it being nice and neat. So I don't exactly bother to take the time to write things down anymore, which I should, because when I'm trying to find a recipe that I like online, it would be a lot easier if I'd already written it down in a book. You know, considering that's why I got it. This is what we're working with, guys. It's kind of like a pretty sticky consistency, but we're working with that mixture. Still looks okay considering there's no brown sugar in there, but it should be interesting. I might just actually taste the mixture, see how different it is. Okay, it's definitely kind of missing that like golden-y taste that brown sugar has. It still tastes pretty good. I'm going to be like really cheeky and I'm going to just add like a sneaky bit of golden syrup in there, see if that makes a difference. See, this is why you always have different things on hand for baking, because then you can get a little bit creative with it. I don't know how much that is, but I'm going to say like a tablespoon if at home you decide not to use brown sugar or you don't have it like I didn't. So I'm going to mix that one in. Which is really weird because I never thought I'd be putting golden syrup into this recipe, but hey, new things happen. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to tidy all of this up a bit and I'm going to line a pan and I will be right back with you guys. Don't judge me. Okay, so I've just lined a baking tray to put the mixture into, and then we just put our mixture in. It is quite sticky, so it's kind of like very hard to get it all in with just a wooden spoon. But I like to use a spatula all the time anyway, because it's just so much easier. And let's scrape her out. I think that'll do. In case anyone cares, that's what my bowl's looking like. I probably could scrape it a little bit more, but we're done. I just realised that I forgot to actually tell you guys what size this pan is, so I'll just put it on the screen here so that you can, you know, get the right pan. This is, in my opinion, the boring part. It does take a bit of patience to get it flat, but it kind of depends on how much of a perfectionist you are. I do tend to get a little bit anal when it comes to it being even across the whole thing. Now that that's all nice and flat in the pan, I'm gonna put the choc chips on top. Normally I would stand here and I would press them all in individually, but for the sake of doing things differently today, I'm not going to do that. If you don't want to use milk chocolate on top, you can use dark chocolate, or at Christmas time I had, you know, the like green and red Christmas M&Ms. I put them on top, and that was really cute because I did a lot of Christmas baking for my family. And yeah, they turned out really well. So if you want something a little more colourful, M&Ms are fun to use, but I kind of just go for the classic. Okay, so I've just grabbed my book that my sister got for me when I was 17, just so that I actually get the cooking time right on this. And of course, actually the first recipe that I have written in this book is this recipe. That's how often I used to make it back in the day. It is 20 to 30 minutes, so I guess 25 minutes was pretty accurate on my part. So let's put her in the oven. 25 minutes. Now we wait.
Ladada.
I'm gonna take them out of it.
So this is our result. There's a bit of like a kind of lumpy situation going on, but I still think it'll taste pretty good. I just have to let them cool now, and then we can cut it up.
Okay, let's give her a chop, chop, chop. Okay, so that's all cut up. I'm gonna put it onto a plate. And after that, we're gonna sprinkle it with a bit of icing sugar, which looks really nice when you're serving it up. Okay, icing sugar, on we go. Making a mess as per usual. All of it now. Beautiful. Now for the fun part, trying one. I do like me a quarter piece. It tastes pretty much the same as normal, even though there's no brown sugar in there. Pretty good. So that's all for this video, guys. Chocolate dreams. Here they are. If you made them at home, I really hope that you enjoyed them. And if not, I hope you just enjoyed this video. You guys have a lovely day. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I will see you next time. Ladada, love ya.